So we've been through a number of iterations of protesting and this kind of stuff. And what we need to be aware of is what the terms mean. What are we doing? So a protest is about stopping something from happening. You're protesting it, you're trying to stop it from happening, yeah? So we failed. We have failed to stop them installing thousands of unvetted, unidentified men all over our country, into towns all over our country in a completely disproportionate manner. They have installed hundreds of men in towns with only tens of people. This is clearly designed as a displacement tactic. Not a replacement tactic, a displacement tactic. Displacement is talked about in the Bible, where one tribe displaced another tribe and they had to move to another location. And the people are displaced from their resources. They're displaced from their housing, they're displaced from their health service, they're displaced from all the other services that they could normally expect in a well-run country. And that's called displacement. And there we see our youth being moved out to other countries, being displaced into other economies. And this is what this boom-bust economic style does. It creates a boom in one country and a bust in another, so the people from the bust country move to the country with the boom. And now they don't have their natural rights, because they're not on the land of their ancestors. So they keep booming and busting, and we keep moving around, and they know that their proportion of people that don't have natural rights is increasing all of the time in our various countries. And that justifies them in the kinds of behaviour you see in their issuances, the kind of disregard they show for natural rights and the natural jurisdiction which the people of this land are entitled to conduct their daily business with. They no longer respect that, because they've brought so many people who don't have natural rights on this soil to our country. And they've decided to cater to those because it's easy to make money out of those people, it's easy to oppress them, it's easy to give them bad services and bad lives, and they accept it, okay? So that's the model that they're using to make money. They rent out of Irish people to rent houses to, they made the houses too expensive to buy, then we all moved into rented accommodation. Sorry man, could you give me a moment, Jeff? So they put us in, all the Irish people, into rented accommodation. Now that's done, they need to bring more people from foreign places to rent the accommodation now, and the UN pays the rent. And the NAMA lads, we paid for NAMA. NAMA was how the Irish taxpayer bought all the insolvent property all around the country. Then they whipped us with NAMA by giving the property back to the property investors. They took it off at a discount price that the investors borrowed from the same banks. Again, they borrowed that discounted price money from a bank, and they bought their property back from NAMA. And now to pay the loan that they got to buy their own property back from NAMA that you paid for originally, they're now bringing all of these people in, thousands of people from other countries, and the UN is paying their rent for them. And those NAMA gangsters are in cahoots with the banksters and the politicians to pay off the insolvency in the property market in Ireland. And that's what they're doing. They're selling your culture out from under your feet, and they're getting more money for it than they got for the oil they stole, the gas they stole, the gold they're stealing. They're getting 40 and 50 times the money for selling our culture and heritage and history out from under the feet of our people than they ever got for gas, oil or any other resource. And it's all to make the property market solvent again, because they are so stupid, they're so unimaginative, they're so full of fear and hate that they can't imagine any ingenuity to create money in a different manner. So they keep rehashing the old ways, because they have no imagination, they have no creativity. All they have is destruction, nihilism and chaos. And that's what they thrive on. They hope to create a police state, so they have to equip these people with huge amounts of equipment and pay them loads of money and drive the economy and the courts and the prisons and all of this stuff. Well, I don't want that economic model. No one asked for that economic model. Nobody wants it.
I want old Ireland back. I want old, simple, happy Ireland back. And everybody in the world wants it. The whole world loves happy Ireland, welcoming Ireland. That's what we want. We don't want an exclusive place. We want a place that nurtures the natural lives that every person on this planet is entitled to live, without the interference from commerce, without the interference from corporations trying to make money out of fiat currency that has no meaning. This is our land. This is our soil. This is the home of our children.
Yes!
And it will be for future generations for thousands of years, when this current generation of Irish people own their sovereignty. We have to move to a state where sovereignty is respected, where the natural rights of people are considered superior to all rights of corporations. Corporations have no rights. I misspoke there. Corporations provide for things like needs and wants, gains and acquisitions, selling and buying, this kind of language. We are not in that jurisdiction. We are in the natural jurisdiction. We are here with our natural rights, and we are sovereign in that jurisdiction. Our power is unlimited in the natural jurisdiction, and we have to get out of interacting inside contracts. We hop around between our contracts all day, and we pay no heed to our natural jurisdiction. We're not taught about it in school. No one talks about it on the radio. No, they don't want you to know that all of your power is in your natural jurisdiction, where you look after your family, where you feed yourself, where you keep yourself warm, where you make sure you have clean water and that everybody around you is safe and secure. That's your natural jurisdiction. That's where all your power is. You don't have any power anywhere else. They're only codding you. There's no justice in a courtroom. There's no justice with any of these contractors that work for the state. None. That's not where your power is. Your power is above those people. You are the descendant of the natural ancestors of this land. You are the heir to your heritage. And we must impose a cost on the people who choose to destroy our land to make money. They're not doing it for caring. They're doing it to make money. So we have to cost them more money than they're making, and then they will stop. And it's not more difficult than that. That's exactly what we have to do. We have to make the balance sheet €1 more cost to do the thing than it is to not do the thing. And they will stop. That's how it works. That's the only way it works. And I know it's not popular. I know people push back. But that's the problem with costs. People don't want costs. People don't like costs. But we need a cost. We need it to cost them something to continue to destroy our nation while sticking their 2 fingers up at us, not answering our emails, changing expression laws, threatening to put us in jail, claiming we're some kind of lunatics, when actually all we want is our natural rights respected by the people whose wages we pay. They have no other function than the Constitution that is laid out before them. That is their contract of employment, that Constitution. It has no other function. It doesn't give you any rights. Governments do not give you rights. Your rights come from God. If it doesn't come from God, it's not a right. You don't even need to say natural rights. There's no such thing as a right that isn't natural. Rights do not come from God. And all of the tens of thousands of people that are in this country right now becoming citizens, they have their natural rights because our nation respects them. They get their natural rights from the respect of the nationals of this nation, not that government. So I propose, and these other men have proposed, to impose a cost by going to the roundabout at the port and marching around the roundabout, because when you're moving, you're traveling. And when you're traveling, these people have no jurisdiction over you. A person carrying a bag is a traveler. You can see by them, they're not at home. That's why they needed a bag. So they carry a bag with them because their natural rights have to be respected because they're not in their dwelling. So when you keep walking around the roundabout, when you keep moving,
No Garda has jurisdiction over you in this way. While you're moving, they can't touch you. They can't say anything. They have no right to speak to you.